All right, welcome back. Just for those that haven't seen these before, um, I am an S&P futures scalper. I trade the futures on a daily basis, and I'm growing my skill set. And this is just vlogging along my journey. And you're welcome to join me. So let's jump right in on the trade reviews for today. Today wasn't the best of days. I had uh, I was trading with the group, and the group had a bullish bias. I didn't necessarily have a bullish bias, but I took two of the longs, as you see, and lost money on them. I wasn't trading my cash counts, my XFAs today. I was just trying. I was just trading combine practice accounts. Nothing that I was really that worried about. So this wasn't a day I was looking at. If I'd have traded XFAs, I probably just set out this day. Nonetheless, I made some mistakes today, and we'll go through each of the trades and kind of look at it. But before I do, I want to look over here on market internals. The market internals, as you can see, we started out in volume going into the down stocks, and we haven't changed all day long. Um, Nasdaq was a little bit more bullish. I don't really trade Nasdaq, but I watch it to see how whether it's in sync. It was not in sync today. The New York market was, and it's 3.5 to 1 negative here. It was like 1.3, 1.4 early in the day, and it's just gone down worse. On the advancers to decliners, you can see in the first 15 minutes there was a little bit of hope of pulling back out again. It was kind of divergent from volume, but price was seemingly going to pull out of it, and then we just traded down the whole day. Now we're in the minus 1500, so we're clearly in a downtrending day. There's no question about it. When we look at ticks over here, I had probably at least two opportunities. This one for sure, where we were down into the negative 800s. That could have probably faded that, but again, I wasn't really having a bias today. I was just trying both sides. I took two longs, two shorts. Didn't really make it. So let's go back in and start looking at my trades a little bit here. First trade of the day. This was a mid-range trade. Again, I wasn't really controlling size here as much. I was really focused on just the trade itself. This trade I entered after we broke at whatever the 949, 950 time frame, as we broke the VWAP in the middle of the range. It looked like we had dropped here a few minutes before, and we're heading back up. Right after I went in, it dojied out. I should have realized what that meant. In hindsight, I probably would have pulled the trade at that point in time. The trade did rally up. Did not hit my stop, which my take profit stop, which was at the top of the range. But this was another example of a mid-range trade that I jumped in a little early and traded. In this particular case, if I was in XFAs, I traded it too hard. So we're turning around. We're rolling back down here. Price is breaking back down. Hits my stop loss. I'm out. So that was the end of that trade. Again, at the market at that point in time, everything was traded. Everything in the market internals were trending down. I should not have been in a long trade, and so that was sort of the bad first trade. Second trade. So I turned around, shifted over, and I was going to try my short bias. The problem with a short bias in this particular trade, we watched it go down. I should have back here at 10:03 when it broke in the mid range. I should have jumped in at that point in time and rode it all the way down. That would have been the trade. This was not the trade. I was when it pulled back up here. I was going to look for a pullback short. I got back in and it rallied back up. The whole time it was rallying up, I'm looking at the market internal screen. So we're at 10:07. Let's go back to the internals at that point in time. 10:07. Right here, you can see that we didn't have any signs of in price of it actually becoming a rally at that point in time. So I was on the right side of the trade, 1007 over here. It was just continuing to trend down. So both price and volume and ticks at that point in time, everything was showing it should go down. So I sort of hung in that trade, and it rallied back up and hit my stop loss, which was above the OR low, and came out. So that was a loss. So the group went back into another long here. We're coming back up. We bottomed out. It looked like we might be able to jump back in at 10 here after the doji. It looked like we might be able to jump back in and ride it back up. Instead, it came back up, and instead of, and this is the one thing I'm working on. When I drive up, $2-3 in price, I should go ahead and take my stop up and just, if nothing else, close out for a donut, but take a small gain. And that's something that's one of the reasons why I'm practicing today with a little larger size. But price reversed on me once again. If it went back at market internals, once the market internals was not really looking strong. Again, the market internals did not support the long trade today at all. So took one more shot at the short trade. This is the one I really felt like I really made a mistake here. So my mistake in this particular trade. So I wrote it back up. I'm going to trade it back down. I was going to go for this previous day VWAP. That's the light blue line here. In this particular case, I did have my stop loss, and I was probably mentally affected by the 3 lost trades. Where my stop loss should have been is right up here around the current day VWAP and high of day VWAP. That's where I really should have had my stop loss today. That would have definitely invalidated the direction. Again, market internals not showing a bullish trend here. I was definitely on the right-hand side of the market. As we pulled into the trade, if I'd have held on to the trade, I'd have rode it all the way down here to 11 o'clock. It would have hit my target, and I would have been out of the trade with all of my money. Instead, kind of went out a little early, and that was definitely a mistake trade. So market up, and few things here. If I look at my markups today, this is where I should have really done. I should have jumped in on the retest of the opening range low, considering the fact that the market internals were showing me a negative bias, a bearish bias. I should have listened to what it was telling me and just taken that first retest, which is my trade, and traded it all the way down. In this particular case, we went down all the way below value area low to low of yesterday's low of day. I'm really still looking at 6,000. If we hold above 6,000, it's not looking great. We're at 6,007 right now, if we break below 6,000, we could be turning into some sort of an intermittent range pullback on the market. So I'm hoping we hold above that. And that's my markup for the day. Thank you. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.